Oh my, what an absolute pleasure. Dr. Marcy Cole is a dear, dear friend of mine, which you all know, but I am so glad that she took time out of her super busy schedule to schedule a Wish Beads podcast with me because I have so many things I want to talk to you about, Marcy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Alexa. As I've shared many times, I love all things Alexa Fischer, all things. So I'm so happy to be with you today, for sure.
Oh, now we know each other in a number of different ways. So I want to just highlight a few things, and we're going to tap on all of these in the course of our conversation. Good. But Marcy and I share a deep love of transformational work. So personal development, professional development, empowering women, conversations about wellness. But the one thing that I am absolutely in awe of is you have an unbelievable ability of bringing people together, like this absolute magnetic quality that you have, that when I have just, even if I'm with other friends and we're talking and you're connecting individually, but also the incredible people that you have in your orbit. And I just want to talk about, like, have you always been this way, this amazing connector, this amazing people person?
Yes. Yes, I have. I was the baby in my family, and I was cradled in a lot of love. And I think that gave me a sense of the foundational comfort to connect that a lot of people did not receive early. So I give 99% of the credit to my parents and my older siblings. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that we all have, nature or nurture. I think I got it on both ends. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of just who I am in the world. And I remember someone saying from the stage once, can you see the tip of your nose? And most of us can't see the tip of our nose. No. What comes naturally to us, we cannot see. So what you're acknowledging, thank you very much, is a natural thing, just like whatever's natural that comes through you, which, by the way, is part of the same DNA, and others, right? So yes. So I think some of it comes from lots of the conditioning and the comfort of being in an environment where you're allowed to be who you are and you're celebrated, because of who you are, and also just the constitution of who you are.
And I think that there is an energy in that is contagious. And there is something also that's very particular about what you do. And when we first met, I was doing a workshop. I was leading a workshop. Yes. And you were there and you were like furiously writing notes. I didn't know who you were. And you came up to me afterward and you were like, hi, I'm Marcy. We are going to be friends.
That's right.
And this idea, and it was like, I was like, yeah. Your energy was like a giant billboard that said, say yes. And then I heard recently when you were connecting me with an amazing woman, your dear, dear, dear friend from back in the day in Chicago, Sally Lou Loveman. And she even said, like, you started a conversation asking her to participate in a workshop that you were hosting. And didn't you say, like, the first thing was, you're going to say yes? Like, did you say that to her when you asked her?
I have no idea. I don't even remember. I mean, but if you feel that sense of certainty, first of all, certainty is very seductive and contagious if it's authentic. So
authentic is exactly right.
Authentic is the key. So when you feel strongly about something and you want to share something with someone that you know it's going to resonate with them because you know them well enough to know about their heart. Yeah, absolutely. I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did.
I know, but I think that there's something so powerful when you have a default setting, and maybe it is that nature, nurture, it's just who you are. But when you have a default setting that is from this perspective of like, of course they're going to say yes because it's the perfect fit. You are so authentic in that. You really mean that. And it's so delicious being in that energy that you can't help but say yes. And by the way, for those of you who and I encourage you to check out all of Marcy's links, they're all in the show notes. But Marcy, you put together for 3 years in a row this amazing event called Epic Day. Yes. Huge event in Santa Monica, California. And the lineup was mind-blowing of transformational leaders. And I'm thinking to myself, how on earth did Marcy, because I know that there wasn't a big budget. Sometimes you go to events and there are speakers and okay, there's a speaker circuit. these people were like the biggest names in transformational speaking and leadership. And there they are, giving their heart out, wowing the audience.
Yes.
And I really believe it is because of your energy.
Well, thank you. And I think we all, seriously, I really do think and I'm not saying this because of humility. I actually really, really believe that we all have the capacity, when we're clear, when we're sincere, and if we vocalize and just put it out there in the world, and you ask a question, you make an invitation, you are curious, you're engaged, and you are engaging, the yeses are not hard to come by. Whether you're asking for money about an important cause, whether you're inviting someone to speak who usually gets a speaker's fee, but they're inspired to say yes, or whether you're going up to a new friend like you, when you feel that sense of, I know this, it's almost instant knowing, you got to follow it. Yeah. And when you follow it, there's usually a synergy on both ends. And that's why there's a yes on both ends. When there's not an alignment, and that's okay too, right? We have nothing to lose.
Absolutely. I also think what's a beautiful component of all the work that you do is that you give back. There is this, you have taken on amazing causes and organizations that you've supported, organizations that you've created. And I think that too, that energy of the ebb and the flow and the give and the take and the alignment is it's a powerful force.
Yes.
And it's one that, has kept me very engaged in First Tuesdays. And for anybody looking, even in this digital realm that we find ourselves in at the time of this recording, it is September of 2020. And so many of us are leaning on Zoom and online communities. So I was thrilled when First Tuesday, which began in living rooms in Chicago, then expanded when you moved to Los Angeles to then beautiful environments in and around the Los Angeles area, to now moving firsttuesdayusa.com online, then eventually going global with it. It gives a space for lots of women to experience that energy of alignment and inspiration. So for people listening right now, can you tell us a little bit more about what that opportunity looks like for people to connect with you and with other women?
Yes, it's sort of like you're invited to the party and you either say yes or no, but at least say maybe I'll try it. I think what happens is when you bring like-minded humans together, magic is going to happen. You're either going to walk away at some point with one new friend you never had before, or an alliance, or an acquaintance, or someone that tells you about something and you follow the thread and then that happens, or a cause, or a collective community that continues to keep on giving. When I think about, and a lot of times First Tuesday started in living rooms, as you said, and sort of had a life force of its own and grew and grew. And it's, look, it's not a business group. I think that usually people stick with us. Women have been with us for years, but when they don't, it's sometimes they come in and they have an expectation, I'm going to get business. That's not what First Tuesday is about. First Tuesday is an energy field of high vibrational frequency. I feel that's with heart-centered humans who want to connect with each other, who are interested in personal development and professional development. So naturally alliances happen on the professional field. But what's beautiful is when you go in just with curiosity, of who are you, and a sincere interest in the other person, and a sincere interest in being a part of something bigger than your small circle of your own bubble of your family and friends. It's very magical, and lots of things happen. Alexa, you've been involved for years, and when you look at the people that you have met as a result of showing up, because you chose to show up. I didn't. I chose you as my friend, and I invited you in, but it's you who walked in that vortex, and you've been a contributor that's amazing. You've spoken at 2 of the events. You've shown up and connected with the Corn Brothers and made other amazing alliances, and so it's not the only one on earth, but the beauty about this is we're not in the sorority life anymore. We don't have to pick just one. We can be a part of as many groups that resonate with us. We have nothing to lose. And so that's what's happening. And now this COVID time is bringing up lots of opportunities for all of us. And taking it virtual, by my surprise, it's like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Change the whole nature. 1111, auspicious number, $11.11 a month. That's it. I didn't want money to be in anyone's way. And now geography is not in anyone's way.
Yeah.
So women from across the planet can join us. And even if their time zone is off, they can get the recording. So
yeah. And what's cool is just the structure of it is there's usually an invocation. And then before there's this featured speaker, so a featured topic, so you can check out which ones, interest you and pop in. They're all great. They're all unbelievable. But I also love that you kept, and we did this when we were in person, but an opportunity to come together in small groups and have a conversation. Quickly, who you are, what are you excited about, what are you looking for, whatever, some kind of prompt. And even in my breakout room, when I was there, so in Zoom, we got to do these breakout rooms. I was so happy that you kept that component, because while you can look at a Zoom chat and kind of guess the personality or what's, maybe find a friendly face, maybe see their name in a Zoom, it can be very passive if you're not the speaker. And I love that you kept that. It's really amazing.
It's actually essential. You have to give people, look, regardless of whether you're going to a group of 50 or there's 1,000 in the room. I've been to workshops where there were 1,000 people in the room and the presenter and the facilitator created a sense of intimacy. Why? Because he broke it up into small groups of process, of connection. And it's unbelievable how deep you can go with people in 5 minutes when you just have a moment to get together. You just, right? And so, it's called a round circle. Well, now it'll be like online circle Zoom time, connectivity time. But that's a time for everyone to feel like, wow, I met 5 people I didn't know an hour ago. Very important. Yes.
Really, really beautiful. It's so good. So, we've known each other for a long time. I think almost 10 years, Marcy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
oh my God.
Crazy.
All of a sudden a new friend becomes an old friend. And you have all this history. We have all this history together.
I know. I'm so excited. I moved a tear or something.
I swear. Cool. Me too.
But I wanted to also talk a little bit about, you've always been a huge supporter of my work, which I just am so grateful for. And of course, Wish Beads came along, and you love adornment, which I love as well.
Yes.
And then there was one moment where you were like, seriously, Alexa, I need some wishes to happen. Stat.
That's right. I did.
So I want to tell a little bit about your journey, in particular with 2 things that you wished for that actually came true.
Yes. Wish Beads was our philanthropic vendor last month at our First Tuesday event. And I did share this with everyone because it's one thing to be inspired by you and everything you do. Check. It's another thing to love what you created. And, I'm an accessory girl. I've got one hand in the ethereal world and one hand in the material world. And I love this stuff. And I love what you've created. So of course I didn't just buy one on my wrist. I bought tons, but that was after I started with 2. Right. And I called you, and last summer, the summer of 2019, there were 2 things going on in my life. One was that my parents in their 90s, so blessed to have them, but they were sort of both a hot mess at the same time. And my sisters and I, we were thrust in a state of just kind of management from the other coast. So it was a crazy summer. And frankly, I was just praying for either a renewal of their health or an easy transition. I just wanted them taken care of, and I wanted no pain, and I wanted them to be okay. So I had one wish bead bracelet on one wrist about my parents. And the other wish bead bracelet I had was after a couple of years post ending my former marriage, I, just letting myself be, I decided I am ready to date again. And I dated for the year, but then I sort of dropped into my heart in a deeper way and said, I am ready for my next love. I am ready for the love of my life. I'm ready for the real deal, for the long haul. Thank you very much, people. And so I put that wish in the other wrist. And honest to God, both wishes came true. By September, both my parents were on the other side of something. I was writing their eulogies. I'm not even kidding.
I know. I was very serious. I thought, oh my gosh, they're both going to go. They're such powerful, adorable, amazing human beings who are so deeply in love. And it was just, and they're in their mid-90s. So
mid-90s, that's right. So they could have, but the truth is they made, once again, yet again, a comeback. And yes, my sweet love, amazing man, Michael, is in my life. I met him in November, but he was reaching out to me in early October. So in that whole vortex, this is when these two things happen. So I'm thrilled to share what happened, but the power of wish beads as part of this story. No question. I actually so believe in the power of intention, so believe in the power of where we put our attention. And then when you have something that reminds you, that's on your body, that you claim, that you write down and you put out, I did a lot of things, and that was one of them. It absolutely matters, and it works. And sometimes it works in a way that we don't even, we can't see. Sometimes, whatever you believe in works in mysterious ways. And so I trust that as well.
You do. I mean,
yes.
it's just, you are the energy of Wish Beads in motion. But I think that what is so beautiful about how you live your life and how you inspire others by how you show up is this idea of giving your desires voice.
Yes.
Of that idea of, if you are wanting and desiring of something, saying it, asking the question, opening yourself up to it's not a big deal if you just ask somebody.
Yes.
I know one time I was so honored to be able to get a coveted ticket to First Tuesday when you had Father Boyle.
Yes.
And he literally is one of the most phenomenal people, that the work that he's doing and who he is. And there was this moment, Marcy, when he walked in that he was like, I just came off of a plane. He just sort of was kind of almost astonished himself that he was there, given his schedule and how much that he has going on. And again, I went, it's like you're an alchemist with that. And I think for people listening, when they're thinking about their wishes, your ability to jump into what the infinite possibility of things, and then infusing it with your love and your voice, it is powerful, Marcy. It really is.
Thank you, honey. Thank you so much, Alexa. I thank you, sweetheart. You said something to me. First of all, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror because everything you're saying, I'm not blowing smoke. Everything you're saying, I feel the same way about you. That's the truth. But you said something to me, and I've shared this with you before, and I'll share it with you and everyone again, that you said you met someone else. Oh, it was Julie Frost, one of my dearest, who is, her story is unbelievable, off the chart, who, by the way, changed her in terms of the idea of intention, changed her email to totally famous music, and then became a complete, rock star.
Global superstar.
Exactly.
Just P.S., just so people know, Julie Frost won a Golden Globe for a song that she co-wrote with Madonna. She won the Eurovision, which is literally the biggest music award in the world for a song that she wrote.
Yes,
and
that's
she is so phenomenally talented, and also happens to be a friend of Marcy's.
Yes. Oh, and you know what? Actually, this works in beautifully too, because, so you meet Julie Frost, performs at her First Tuesday. You meet her, you guys connect, of course. And then you say, God, Marcy, you see special. And you said those words. Yes. And I thought, it's so common for us to be kind of, self-depreciating sometimes in our lives. And oh, no, that one, I was like, you're right. I see special. I chose you, Alexa Fischer. Julie Frost, guess what? Julie Frost was my guitar instructor. Julie Frost
in Chicago, a million years ago.
Yes, in guitar instructor. And I noticed her, I adored her. I started going by myself to bars in my neighborhood to hear her sing on stage in front of 10 people. And then it was First Tuesday in the living room where I said, let's do a favorite things, share your favorite things night. And I called her and I said, Julie, I want to share you. She showed up. This is the power of community and women. This is an unbelievable story. She shows up. And I could tell that something was wrong. And I said, what's the matter? She says, my home was broken into. They took everything. I said, what are you doing here? She said, well, I made a commitment. And I said, okay, where'd you get your guitar? Someone lent me my guitar. Of course she was shooken up. I said, listen, if tonight, if it feels okay, if it feels, do I have your permission to share this at some point in the evening so the women could hold space for the best wishes given the situation? She said, yes. We go through the evening, she sings her song. I share what happened. These women come together. I have chills again. We produce an event for her to not only get a guitar and raise money on her behalf, but to basically raise money for her first CD. And 300 people ended up at the Folktown School of Folk Music.
Oh, that's the best venue in the whole world. I love that place. Yeah.
Right?
I felt like the Old Town School of Music.
Yes. And I sat there and I said, I feel like a proud mama. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't stand it. Anyway, to make a long story short, that turned into an unbelievable friendship where, I was in the Peninsula Hotel in Beverly Hills as, ushering her out the door as she's going to the Golden Globes, nominated for, anyway, but this is the thing. When you see special and when you feel like you're drawn to something or someone, go for it, go there. Trust. And by the way, how good does it feel when someone approaches you this way? Like the best. And guess what? If it doesn't resonate with either, it's okay. Like I said before, nobody is worse off. If anything, it's a nice compliment, and it's a moment in time where you might pass each other by, but it could be the beginning of a magnificent forever, relationship. And so, I mean.
And Marcy, just even like, again, I'm forgetting that other people are going to listen to this conversation because I could talk to you forever.
Yeah.
But the idea too, that you trusted your instincts. You caught Julie at this one moment where the intersection of you saying something to her and supporting her in that way, like really recognize that really helped catapult her in a big, big way to firmly put her on her path of putting her music out there. And it's not to say that she wouldn't have found that path, but there is such divinity in that, which for people listening, and then there are times that I too, in my own journey of the things that I'm doing, I also have those moments of doubt where I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? 2020 was a hard year for Wish Beads. And it was a hard year for lots of people.
Yes.
And then you get an email that is like, I've been wearing your bracelet for months and months, and I just heard from my doctor that I'm in remission. That's what my wish was. And then you're like, I'll do this for eternity, for free.
Yes.
If I can realize that you never know what your actions, the way that you show up in the world is going to make a critical shift for somebody.
That's right.
And seeing special and trusting yourself to just take action towards it, even if it is a smile, it's powerful.
Yes.
And I think in this world in which we're so looking externally at these metrics of success, how many likes, how many followers, how much money did you make this month? How many, you can say, I'm not enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not successful enough.
Yeah.
And it is the biggest baloney story in the whole world.
Yeah, it's so true. Alexa, one of the things that I think you and I share is a genuine love for people and goodwill for others. I mean, a lot of people can relate to that. And, I've channeled it through my one-on-one work as a holistic psychotherapist with people and creating this community vortex where people can connect with each other and just love nothing more than to hear the ripple effects of what happens when they do. And then Wish Beads, what you've created is a vortex of helping people believe, to listen to their heart, to listen and pay attention and trust and embrace and share. Wear and share. Because here's the other thing. I also believe, I will say, in wearing, you know what? I don't have mine on today. I should have had them on both wrists because I have a ton just for show because they're so gorgeous. But to wear and to share, that's the other part of it. Sometimes we keep our wishes to ourselves, and that's beautiful, and that's okay. And sometimes we want to connect with the divine, whatever we believe in, to let them know I'm available. This is what I see. This is what I want. This is what I, feel. And let the cosmos do their magic. And sometimes we want to share it with trusted, confidants. And sometimes we want to share it with a bunch of strangers because we're all in the same place and everyone clearly wants goodwill and they're sharing it with each other. There's a lot of power in that too. So I just would throw in the ring, wear your wish beads and tell them about it. Don't you love my bracelet? Yeah, in here is the fact that I am looking for the love of my life.
Do you know anybody?
Do you know anyone?
But the thing is
right.
that actually making your wishes come true.
Yes.
Is part of that is saying it. In fact, it's one of the days of the wish work is say your wish out loud.
Great.
Because there is this amplification. First of all, you're telling the universe, I'm serious. Like I'm intentional. I am in motion. My intention is an action.
That's right.
And also like just on a practical level, like you usually need people. You need people to make your wishes come true.
Yes.
I'm not talking about just in love. That's an obvious example. Mm-hmm. But if you want to put on a big event or you see, like for me, there's lots of different wishes that I have, but oh, this is interesting. So I was on a podcast yesterday. It's not going to come out for a few months, but I'm talking to this guy, Lee Harris. I was on his podcast.
Love Lee Harris.
You do? Oh my God. He is
love him.
So great. Oh my God. I was on his podcast yesterday.
Oh, that's that's beautiful. Alexa,
Lee has to come to a First Tuesday. He has to be a speaker.
I reached out to him once. So see, Conduit.
Oh my God. Hello. You're hearing it live.
That's right.
I love Lee. Oh my gosh. Okay. So he's amazing. So he and I were chatting before we did the recording in his studio. And he was like, Alexa, do you know Liz Gilbert? Because you have a very Liz Gilbert vibe. And I was like, major compliment because I'm a big fan. Major. I said, well, I've met her twice. But the interesting thing is, and she has wish beads. I said, but the interesting thing is that in one of my visualizations in my wish circles that I lead, I saw myself on stage with Liz Gilbert. She was sitting right here. We were on a big stage, big audience. So that's good. Like after COVID, we will eventually all be together. I saw it.
Yes.
And we were laughing. And I did not have the sense that we were meeting for the first time. Yes. So when I came back from my visualization, I was like, I'm totally friends with Liz Gilbert in my astral.
Yes.
And so now when I watch her videos, I will comment back to her as if we are already friends. Yes. So when I and Lee has like been on tour with her. And for those people who don't know, Lee Harris is an energy transformational leader. He's a musician, but he also channels, these entities called the Z's, and he brings powerful messages from beyond. Mm-hmm. He's also just a beautiful human being. So anyway, I thought that is so interesting because I don't know if he's buddies with Liz Gilbert, but it was like, it's all in it's in the air around you,
Okay. So this is an example of synergy right here. What's happening right here.
Okay.
Because when like attracts like, so usually we're going to naturally gravitate towards some of the same messages, opportunities, and people that come into our field. Lee Harris, already connected with him a long time ago, totally feel the same way, totally thrilled that you guys are connecting in this way. Can't wait to share whatever you did together and the discussion. I can't wait to hear it. Liz Gilbert, I was presenting at a Goop thing last year, and she was presenting on the main stage, and I was doing workshops and we were in the green room outside and passed her by, took the card. And first of all, I agree with you about her 100%. She feels like our girlfriend. She feels totally. Like for sure, because you see, but think about this. We talked about authenticity. What Liz and Lee have in common is when you watch them share their message, and I believe it's the same with you, you not only believe them, but you feel them. There's no ego in the room. There's just no ego. And, I mean, the truth is people are channeling and sharing lots of amazing things. I think it's all of value, but sometimes off stage, it's not exactly as shall we say, clear as it is on stage. I say, do it anyway, talk anyway, share anyway. But there's certain people that you're like, wow. And those are two. I completely could not agree more.
Yeah. And I think it does come a little bit like I'm 48. And I definitely feel more authentic at 48, like having had different chapters of my career or different challenges that I've lived through and overcome. And there is this feeling of like, yeah, whatever, like there's freedom because you release these layers of judgment and fear and wondering and thinking you have to be a certain way. And if someone is taking one of my classes or hearing me on stage or watching this podcast, I am the same.
Yeah,
I'm the same person.
No, 100% you are. And by the way, one of the reasons why I've produced several, and I will again soon, Wisdom of the Ages, is because these are women over the age of 75 sharing their wisdom about graceful aging. And it's so much of it is what you said, Alexa, about the freedom of letting go of all of the would have, could have, should haves, and letting go of the what we think we need to be in comparison to whoever else is. I mean, it becomes all about follow your truth, period, end of story. And when we really are, and I think it just gets easier and easier. The layers keep shedding, we keep shedding, and then we become, it's really beautiful, actually, the whole evolution process. And I love feeling it within myself and witnessing it with my friends, you know? And so it's a really inspiring journey. It certainly is, especially sharing it with friends like you.
Oh, the feeling is totally mutual. Oh my goodness. Well, I want to make sure that people do check out First Tuesday USA. It's also going to be firsttuesdayglobal.com. And then also you are a holistic psychotherapist. So you are still seeing clients. I don't know if you have any availability, but for people really looking to sort of taste this magic one-on-one with Marcy, check her out at drmarcycole.com for sure. And then I actually think it's so beautiful that here in the Los Angeles area, you're also teaching wellness to parents and teens at a private K-6 school, not teens, but young kids. And that's also so exciting for me because what you're bringing through your medium, through your message, through your support is such a really critical life skill. This idea of living through your heart, through authenticity, being aware of what's happening in the world and how to show up with that light. I am all about that. And I mean, you really are a shining example of the work that you teach other people. So for anybody listening or watching, by all means, I want to see you in that Zoom room every month. You know what I'm saying?
My gosh, yes.
Tuesday.
The next one, and you know what? Along the lines of all of this of connectivity, the next one is on October 6th, and the topic this time is women healing racism. Think about that. It's about women, the collective, and guess what? In terms of all of this thing about following your wishes and your dreams, this is a collective wish.
Yes, absolutely.
I hope most of us.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
When you have a collective wish and you have a collective intention, imagine the power of that. And when you have a heart of a woman, which we have, and you have that unbelievable infinite well of the capacity for nurturing and nourishing and all of that and connecting. Because the truth is, I really believe that what's happened for so many decades and centuries is a sense of separatism between cultures, races, religions, right? And that's the only thing. We've become like separate entities instead of coming to get together. And so in the spirit of collective wishes and in the spirit of connectivity, that's happening October 6th. So absolutely. Everyone in the world is everyone who's a female, because we're not doing co-ed yet. We will perhaps in the future. Again, we do another Epic Day. But for now, it's for beautiful, gorgeous women. And I hope everyone listening will be really inspired to join us.
Oh, I hope so. And they should just come join us every month, because every month, every program is better than the next that you bring together. But as a quick recap, Marcy, thank you for showing up with your love, with your light, for seeing special, for speaking special, and for inviting us all to do the same, because you are special. And I am so psyched to be your friend for a decade.
Oh my God. How about forever, Alexa Fischer?
Forever. Forever and beyond, because we're all about the astral too. So like forever and beyond.
Hell yes to that too. Yes, we are on the train for life. And I feel infinitely blessed to be your friend and to be in your world and to watch you shine and grow your light and to share with everyone who's touched by you in all the forms that they can be touched by you. And it's a blessing, honest to God. You're an inspiration to me as well. This is a very, the feeling is mutual all the way around and more. As my mom says, we have this thing, I love you, no, I love you more, no, I love you most. No, I love you. Finally, I got her a pillow for her birthday in August, her 94th birthday. It says, I love you most, the end, I win. Let's just like, Mom, we're not going to debate this anymore, okay? So with friends too, when you have that love affair with each other, it's like, it's so juicy and yummy and delicious and wonderful. And so let's just keep going and sharing and witnessing each other and sharing it with others and doing
and creating more great stories of wishes coming true, including ending racism, including people finding love,
all of it,
healing, all the things.
Because when one wish comes true, it's right. It's a ripple effect, and it's such a unbelievable, inspiring sign to everyone that this is available. Love isn't just available for one person. Financial prosperity isn't just available for one person. Speaking your truth isn't just available for one person, and connecting people and matching and having the joy of that isn't, we all have that infinite capacity. So let's you and I continue to do what we do and share what we share and just hold the vision of being that conduit for others so that they tap into their own voice, and then it's a ripple effect, and it's just, quantum field magic.
Yes, quantum field magic.
Yes.
Let's end on that note.
Perfect.
I think back when I was growing up, it would end some Saturday programming with, and that's one to grow on.
Oh, that's actually good. I'm kind of impressed and surprised that they actually said that.
You did.
Wow.
That is my indoctrination when I was Saturday morning cartoons. See? And that's one to grow on.
Yes, that's why social emotional learning in schools is so epic right now.
Amen.
It's happening. This is what I'm doing in schools. This is what other educators are doing. That's what the school is committed to. That's what your children are receiving, which is such a blessing, right? All of what we're talking about, kids get to learn in school now, hopefully. It's becoming more and more pervasive.
Yeah, and that's why one of my mentees is a young 15-year-old girl, and she and I and her friend are working on our Wish Bead Teen program for SEL. And I'm working on a children's book, which if I haven't told you about that, I will talk to you later about it.
See, more things good of Alexa Fischer's world. That is so so exciting. And the Wish Beads line that you just put out for kids.
Yes, for kids.
Hey, I haven't put my order in
together.
Yes,
the children's book, in a way, it's its own story. But then I also so the story is called Look Up and See. And then it has these like look up lessons, and they're little like inspirational cards, which basically are like wish work for kids. But it's connecting with nature, getting their little eyeballs off the screens and looking at the magic of life.
Oh, I love that so much. And it can be paired with a Wish Bead bracelet. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and I'll be buying some, that. The order has not come through that, but I've got nieces and great nieces and friends' babies and bonus babies, babies, and I'm 100% serious. The order will be coming to you soon. I just did one, but I want to do those too. Those are so cute. Oh my God.
They were shipped. All right, my love, you're the best. I know you have to be somewhere. And I thank you for shining your light with us. I think this has been such an amazingly fun conversation. And I hope that people got as much out of it as I did, because I'm literally just floating. I'm so happy.
Thank you, honey. I have heart chills all over, and I am honored to have been invited. Thank you. And to be continued on all fronts, right?
Indeed.
Okay. Big kisses. Bye, sweetheart.